Good evening, everyone. Tonight is October 8th, 2024. It's 6:01. I'll call this meeting to order. Mr. Laforet, will you act as our clerk this evening?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, would you please call roll?
Yes. Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Here.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilman Brent Padamio.
Here.
And Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Here.
You have the floor, Mayor.
Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Shannon, will you lead us tonight?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Council, do you have the agenda before you? Do you have any changes to the agenda, deletions?
Motion to approve, Mayor. Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Gallegos, second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Next item is approval of the minutes, regular council meeting September 24th, 2024.
Mayor, under the Pledge of Allegiance, it shows Wendy Medina as leading it. I don't believe she was here at that meeting, so will you ask the clerk to verify that information, please? Otherwise, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Gallegos, second by Councilman Gonzalez. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Next item is public comments. It's our policy to allow the public to speak for up to 3 minutes. We can't address your item if it's not on the agenda, but we can address staff to address it or address it at a future meeting. Do we have anyone for public comment? Did anyone call in for public comment this week?
No, Mayor.
No, Mayor.
I'll close public comments at 6:04. Next item is a public hearing variance for Mr. and Miss Hillcock, 64 South Cabrest Road. Mr. Buffett.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight we have Mr. Hillock here. He is seeking a variance and a special exemption. Mr. Hillock is putting a 23 by 38.5 addition to their existing home located at 64 South Kiowa Road. That particular area is designated in the agricultural district. That's why we need the special exemption as well. And there is a 2-acre minimum in the agricultural district according to our current zoning ordinance. So I will have Mr. Hillock come in and he could stand for any questions, and I'll stand by him if you have them as well. Hi.
Good evening.
We would like to add a garage with some storage. We're trying to clean up the property that we purchased about a year and a half ago. And currently there are several outbuildings and sheds that we're using for storage. And we're hoping once we get this built, we can move all that in and then demolition all the old structures so that we can get that. And hopefully God have to shovel as much snow. I'm from Lubbock, so I'm not used to all the snow, and I think this giving a place for our cars will help also.
Any questions from Mr. Hillcock, for Mr. Buffett?
Thank you, Mr. Hillock, for being here this evening. If I may ask, how big is your Kurt, is your property, it's under the 2 acre, but,
0.68 acres,
0.68.
right,
and you will demolish the old buildings after you build the big structure?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Mayor, Mr. Hillock, thank you for showing up again tonight. Where exactly is your garage going to go? I'm looking at it on that.
That would be on the north side between Liz and Dawn.
Okay.
It would have 17 feet between the garage and their fence to the north of the existing house.
Is it going to be attached to your house?
The roof would be attached.
Yeah.
The structure is basically freestanding, if you will, walls that support the structure without the existing structure, but would be attached at the roof.
That looks like a parking area right at the moment anyways, right?
I'm sorry?
That looks like a parking area at the moment anyways.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes.
That's what
You
we
just want to have it covered, yeah.
driveway area there, right.
Thank you.
You're in the old Vito Real and Loisa Real residence.
Yes, sir. Part of that property was not sold. I guess the old original house, Liz and Dawn still live in that portion, but the rest was sold in 2 different lots.
Any other questions, councilors?
No questions.
So,
Motion to approve, Mayor.
hold on, we're not there yet, councilor.
Oh, sorry.
I do need to open up the public forum and open it up to the public to see if they have any comments on this. Anyone from the public have any concern with Mr. Phillips' variance request? So I open public comment at 6:08. It's a public hearing.
Got ahead of myself, sir. Sorry.
Just excited to rotate.
Oh, yeah.
Get business done. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to close public comment at 6:09. Next item on the agenda is the public hearing variance for Abe and Rena Garcia, New Mexico State Highway 522 rural addressing.
Okay, Mayor and Council, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia have a couple variances. The first one we'll talk about tonight is going to be the variance for a property located right off of New Mexico State Highway 522 behind the Elite Fitness gym. They have approximately 0.796 of an acre, and that is located in the B2 district of our zone, and that requires a minimum of 1 acre. And because their intention is to place a 28 by 68 mobile home on that property, and because of the B2 designation, special exemption would apply in this case as well. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Abe Garcia. Will you please speak your name?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll start with Abe if you have any questions.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
Mayor,
evening.
council members. Thanks for allowing us to get onto the agenda. Like Mr. La Flores said, we were trying to file this exemption so we could place that mobile home on a vacant piece of property, which I'm going to pass on to my daughter for inheritance. And they chose to put a mobile home there, so. To follow your ordinance, we need to get this 5 this variance and hopefully get the approval. So like I said, it's a vacant property, so there's nothing else at this point that they intend to do with it, just at this point, just to place the mobile home. And it's got the clearances required from the fence lines for the other properties. The address has already been signed through the county, and it's 2355A, so that's been taken care of. And once we get, hopefully get approval for this, and we can proceed with the utilities, so.
Anyone have questions for Mr. Garcia?
I have no questions, Mayor.
No questions.
No questions.
No questions, I'll open up, put the public hearing at 6:11. Do we have anyone here from the public with any comments on this variance request? I know this is a little bit of a process, but I just want to show that we gave anyone a chance to speak up about it.
Sure.
So since it's now 6:12, I'll close the public hearing. And we'll move on to the next item is variance for A. Marino Garcia, 10 Camino de Martinez. Mr. Lafayette.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. Mr. and Mrs. Garcia also own a .89 of an acre, and they're seeking a variance to place a 14 by 34 metal building on their property located at 10 Camino Martinez. That particular area is zoned R1 and requires a 1 acre minimum, and that's why we're here requesting the variance. And we stand for any questions.
I have no questions, Mayor.
Did you, Mr. Garcia, did you want to speak up on this property as well?
The reason for the variance is I've got a building down, my property down in Carlsbad, I want to transfer up this way, and I just want to relocate it to this certain person's property over there. That's the, but to meet your ordinance, we've got to go through this process. And other than that, it's just, it's not going to be used for, it's going to be used as an exercise gym, as like I had down there, Carlsbad, so it's not, no residence, no plumbing, no nothing. It's just for exercise at the building.
Is it on where your house is now?
Yes.
Residence? Usually going to be at the additional building?
Yes, it's additional, and I submitted a drawing, and according to Mr. Lafayette, it meets all the clearances.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Garcia?
No questions, Mayor.
No questions.
No questions, pretty straightforward.
I'll open up the public hearing at 6:14. Do we have anyone from the public that has any comments on this variance?
He wants to say something.
Yeah, any comments?
This is my backup.
You might be our next counselor up here.
Get them started at a young age, right, Counselor?
Yep.
I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:15. Which takes us to our next item on the agenda, action items. Discussion, consideration, decision variance for Mr. and Ms. Hillock on 64 South Carroll Road.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Said Mayor, 1 second before we go forward with this. Looking at the map on Onyx Hunt, Mr. Hillock, there's a power line that's looking like it's almost directly above where your later garage.
I think in the past, there used to be a utility pole on that north side, but apparently it was moved at some point to the south side.
So there's no line going over anymore? I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, so that,
there was a stump from that old pole that we dug out, so I felt like there used to be a pole there, but now it is on the south side, southwest corner of the
Okay,
house.
just making sure you're looking over you.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Gallegos, a second by Councilman Armijo. Mr. Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next item is discussion, consideration, and decision of variance for A Marina Garcia, New Mexico State Highway 522. Real address pending, which I think Mr. Garcia just told us that's going to be 2555,
2350.
2355, Highway 522. Any further discussion on this variance?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Jaramillo, a second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Mr. Clerk, would you please call roll?
Yes. Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next item is discussion, consideration, decision variance for A Marina Garcia at 10 Camino de Martinez.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Gallegos, second by Councilman Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next item is discussion, consideration, decision, acceptance of contractor recommendations for RFP 2021-01, Village of Questa on-call airport engineer.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. In your packet, Valerie put in there the contract that we are presenting. Is it in your packet?
Yes. It's a professional service contract.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Okay, Valerie and I submitted or published an RFP for an on-call engineer for our airport. That was published in the Taos News, the Santa Fe New Mexican, and the Albuquerque Journal. We did submit the request for proposals. We did that back in August, and the request was due on the 30th of August. We did get quite a few inquiries regarding our RFP from engineers, but when it came down to it, we only received one proposal. And that proposal is the one that is before you. We'd like to present the contract for professional services to Locknear. Locknear used to be part of Armstrong, who Armstrong was the on-call engineer that we last had at the airport. So they were the ones that successfully submitted their proposal. We did have an evaluation committee of 3 people who scored that, and they met all the criteria for the RFP. So that's why we're asking for approval of the contract. And I stand for any questions.
Councilman Jaramillo.
Yeah, I think we're, Mayor, Mr. Muffett, I think we're jumping ahead of ourselves that we need to first approve the Chief Purchasing Officer's recommendation on the RFP before we approve the contract. So we're probably done both. I mean, we have to approve the RFP first, award the RFP to Locknear, and then we have to come back and do the contract.
Okay, so do we need to
Probably
table this
one.
for another meeting?
Right. So I'll make that motion to table this item until the next meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Jaramillo, a second by Councilwoman Gallegos. I am just looking at the agenda, councilors, and the agenda terminology seems to be correct. I'm just guessing that we just did get an RFP in our packets, and that's what your concern is, Councilman?
Well, and I thought about that because acceptance of contract / contractor recommendation. So I thought, okay, how can we make this one and the same? We would also have to award the RFP first to lock it there and then approve the contract. I'm not saying it can happen in one night.
Okay. I have a motion by Councilman Harun, second by Councilwoman Gagos. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez. Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilors. Will you make sure that gets corrected for the 22nd agenda?
Yes, Mayor.
Next item is discussion, consideration, decision, acceptance of contractor recommendation on construction management for culvert and drainage of Cabrest Road Phase 2 and 3 and 5.
Mayor and Council, we currently have a construction contract in place with GM Emulsion to start the drainage and culverts on Cabrest Road Phase 2 and 3. What we did not have was a contract with the engineer for construction management. We had a contract for their engineering services, but not for construction management. So Valerie, the clerk, put together this contract, which NV5, to be specific, has looked it over and signed. So we're just looking for your approval for this contract, primarily because we're trying to get GM Emulsion on site as quickly as possible before the weather changes. And when we noticed that we did not have a contract for construction management with the engineers, that's why we're bringing this forward, because they're going to oversee the project itself. Not only this, but the other. I think this one is just for the drainage and, this is just for the drainage and culvert part, but when we get to construction, which is laying pavement, we'll have another one. Will I stand for any questions on this one?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Harun, second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Mr. Clerk, please call roll.
Yes, Mayor. Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez. Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next is discussion, consideration, and decision, resolution 2024-23, Village of Questa support for green hydrogen.
Mayor and Council, on your desk is the resolution number 2024-23 that shows that Village of Questa is in favor of the green hydrogen project. This has been reviewed by the mayor and by Luis Reyes, I believe.
By the attorney? Have you reviewed it as well?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if Ms. Rehill sent it to the attorney or not.
Mayor?
I don't think he is. Councilor, you didn't get this in your packet, and I understand that. If you want to table this till next meeting, I'm okay with that too. We do need to get something on the resolution on the books in support of this project. As you know, Kit Carson received $95.6 million. They are financed to apply for that money. So that's the way USDA, that's kind of the way it works with us. With USDA is when we get congressional direct spending, then we have to apply for it. And we just want this to be part of their application process, which their application process, they're not competing against anyone anymore. It's just getting the application in, and we want to have this on the books showing that we have supported.
Which I do agree we need to get it in ASAP, but we also don't want to turn in something that might get rejected as well. So just, a review by the attorney.
I'm okay with that if that's the direction you go, and we can get that taken. Okay.
Depends on the rest of the council.
I believe what Mr. Evans is saying is correct. And because of what happened with waste management, and we had that those locals come in, and not to say that there's anything here that's going to have locals come in and tell us anything, but I mean, I think if we get the attorney to look at, do a second over, yeah.
We know we're in favor of it, we just
Yeah,
want to make
sure.
sure the language is correct, that's my concern.
I know we didn't get into your packet, so I'm okay with you totally taking this.
So I will make a motion to table it, Mayor, till the next meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Venegas, a second by Councilman Gonzalez. Mr. Clerk, please call roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos.
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next item is discussion, Village of Questa planning and zoning map. As you all see, we had 3 variances tonight. It seems like at least every other meeting we've had a variance over the last 2 years. So what I asked Ms. Shannon and Mr. Hill to do was put this on our agenda for this evening because we need to start talking about how we want to zone these areas, different areas, and what we want to do. We might not be able to do this tonight, but I've asked Ms. Shannon to start talking about doing a retreat, start going over this as well. As you'll see on the map, we have the whole drainage property that isn't zoned right at all right now. Not even the business park is zoned. So, and then we have all the way up to the Highway 278 Cerro Terminal has been incorporated, and that's not zoned. And we just need to correct our zoning too. We have the agricultural zoning, and I think, like if you look at the Cabrest Road, which was State Road 563 at one time, that was all zoned agricultural. And now, there's a lot of houses there, and I don't know, they probably went against our zoning. Some of them might not even come in for a variance of each 12,000. I do appreciate you all coming in and actually following the village procedures and requesting the variance request, because it doesn't always happen. People might spill, they put a trailer there, and we don't know that happened. So at least now it's on the books, we've approved that. Well, we do need to start thinking about how we want to change the zoning. Maybe not all of even at the map, that was before the full south, or the full North Cairo was actually paved, or even there. So I think for our retreat, we just need to get an updated map, but just keep in mind that we do need to change. This is the first step in changing our zoning. One of the first steps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any questions on the map, on zoning?
None at this time, Mayor.
Mayor, thinking about the little area where the dogs got mauled, have we reached out to those folks to see if they want to be incorporated? I think because we talked about how Taos County was not going to show up because we had a Questa. I mean, just thinking about that as incorporating those folks so that our police officers can respond on there.
What was that, Counselor?
Andrew Cisneros, where the dogs.
Oh, that's over off of
From
North Cairo.
From Cisco.
Oh, okay.
Joliet.
Yeah, because they're not incorporated at this point.
Maybe it'd be worth reaching out to Mr. Cisneros and I don't know, maybe his brother, or Mr. Andrew Cisneros, Mr. Larry Cisneros, who I think Larry is the one that handles
And
that property.
if there are other locations in town that are not incorporated, maybe now is the time to approach those residents to see if they want to become incorporated.
There's at least one other that I know of.
Me too, but he won't.
Probably
And if
about the
they
same
don't-
person.
Pardon?
Probably think about the same person, yeah.
And if they don't, what does that mean for?
We could technically incorporate them, but that really doesn't make sense to do it. It really doesn't make sense if they don't want to. We don't have to.
But it
They
doesn't
like
hurt to ask,
Yeah,
just in case.
right. Some people, their parents and grandparents didn't want to be incorporated, and we fought it when the Village incorporated in 1964, and they still never got incorporated. I still would like to incorporate the whole airport in several, not any of the residences along the road or property owners along the road, but just the village property that belongs to the village. I think that makes sense to incorporate that, for sure. So if you have any other discussion on this,
No, let's just see how soon we can schedule a retreat, and so we can begin, get started on this. We've already been talking about it 2-3 years, so it's
Right.
time to make a move.
and we could do it too is send out the draft, unanimously ordinance, and then everyone review that too, or we can just review that during the retreat. It's probably gonna be it's gonna be a big task just reviewing
Oh,
it,
yeah.
discussing it, because we're gonna have to determine what zones we want. We might want to decide that we don't want a minimum of 1 acre for a residence anymore for a building. I think that would eliminate about 90% of the variance requests that we have.
Mhm.
We might want to be able to go to 3/4 of an acre, but at least two of tonight's variances ones that have to happen, and I think maybe even the third was close enough that we might not have to have that variance. It would have just been signed off by Mr. Lafayette right away. Okay, we'll move on to the next item. Which is executive session.
Motion to go into executive session, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Reyes, second by Councilman Gonzalez. Mr. Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
We'll be back in 5. It's been a long meeting.
I guess.
Out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Jaramillo, second by Councilman Gonzalez. Mr. Clerk, please call roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Ms. Shannon, will you assert that the only thing discussed during the executive session was what is on the agenda, purchase or sale of real property in Village of Questa? Business Park?
Yes, Mayor, I assert that.
Next item is matters from village attorney, he didn't get on tonight, so I would ask that we table that, or since he's on, we'll just table it. Or can I entertain a motion to table?
Motion to table matters from village attorney.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez, second by Councilman Gonzalez, Mr. Clerk, please call roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brett Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Yes.
Next item is matters from the administrator.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good
I would like to introduce our new MVD clerk, full-time, Mr. Wood.
Thank you.
Do you have anything that you want to share with them?
Not really. I want to thank everyone here for being so welcoming to me. It's been very nice. Especially when I give Sarah a big debt of gratitude because she's been amazing. She knows it all and she's just there. You know, if I can't do something, if I don't do something, she's amazing. She's great. So. But other than that, I don't really have anything. Come and see me. We're open 5 days a week now.
All right.
Welcome, Matthew. We're very happy to have you here, and it's nice to have that open regular hours again. So thank you for joining our team here.
Thank you.
How busy have you been?
It's been really busy. The last week has really taken off.
Good.
Pretty much non-stop.
Good.
We're getting it back running again.
Good.
That's great.
Daily deposits are in the thousands again.
Awesome.
Oh. That's good.
Yeah, I saw an $8,600 day one day.
Yeah, there's been some days it's just been overwhelming. Because I don't know everything. I don't know everything, but it's been a little overwhelming. I'll get there.
Thank you for joining us.
We're excited to have him.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, Matthew. Our audit continues. I sent out an email. I'm back from my trips. So,
Yay. We missed
I
you.
will be traveling again until the budget conference. But I sent an email out to the auditors to find out when they're going to really work on our audit and ask for the selected at-will items that they usually do. And we're going to have a pre-conference if they want to have a pre-conference, pre-audit meeting. If anybody would like to be a part of that, please let me know. We need the mayor and one councilor to be in those meetings before and after. So if you'd like to be part of that, let me know. It is Community Against Violence time for the Radiothon. We do have $1,500 set aside for them for this year. In 2018, we gave them $2,500, and then in 2022, because of ARPA monies, for COVID, we had given them $10,000 and $5,000 in two different kinds. In 2023, still using some of those ARPA monies, we gave them $3,250. All of the ARPA monies that we have left are going to do fencing for the school well property at the school, and also for the sewer plant ponds. Mr. Casas has pulled several dogs out of the ponds.
Oh, man.
Some of them lived and ran away. Some of them he tried to find who they belonged to, and some of them didn't make it. So he really felt like for safety of animals, we needed to fence off those ponds. So that's in the works. We did get our grant and loan from the Water Trust Board, the paperwork. I did have to send them what I just handed to you. The grant is $1,440,000. The loan portion is $360,000, and the match is $270,000. That's one of the biggest matches that we've had to have. This is for the well, for the new well that's going to be at the business park. The second page of what I just handed you shows our approved budget from DFA, and we're going to be taking that match out of the general fund. So I've highlighted the monies that it's coming out of. Counselor?
You're going to apply for the match waiver fund?
We are. We're going to apply for as much as we can, even for a waiver on the loan. Good.
So, Councilor, the match grant fund was the one that was passed last legislature, correct?
Right.
That's the one,
They still have money in there too.
65 million?
I don't remember the dollar.
Does it apply apply to, was it only federal loans or will it apply to state loans?
I think there was some that applied to state loans. I think there was 2 match funds.
We'll be looking into that. I gave this out right before I left for my second trip, so I haven't hit the ground running yet. Tomorrow, we're on it. I want to let you know that we now have 3 paramedics on staff at EMS. Ms. Reynell, Chief Reynell Sanchez had been the only paramedic for a while. We had a periodic paramedic come in every once in a while. Chase Ingram, he got his paramedic license recently,
Nice.
and she did hire somebody else that had a paramedic license. So there are 3 of them now, so that was great news. We did hire another officer. He started on Monday, Mr. Robert Scott Wayant. He is fully certified, he lives here in Questa. And Chief was out with him, getting him certified with his weapons, and they're doing it, the night weapons, tonight. That's why they couldn't be here. But we do have our new officer.
Will you ask him to come to the next meeting?
We will.
Thank you.
And our next holiday is Monday, October 14th, Indigenous Peoples' Day. The office and the library will be closed, but we will have the utility person on call. I stand for any questions.
Mayor. Hey, Shannon, how many police officers do we have at the moment?
We have the chief and 3 officers.
A chief and 3. Okay.
Hopefully.
It seems to be like we're coming in and out of police officers.
With Mr. Wayne, we have 4
We
officers.
have 4 officers with our new
5 total.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
chief and 3 plus now 1 4.
Everything's good in town, so they're doing their job.
That's, that's what we have budgeted and, Mr. Wayne comes with 27 years of law enforcement experience.
Wow.
Yeah, so he is experienced. He lives within village limits, so that's another
That's awesome.
positive. Any other questions from Ms. Shannon?
No questions.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Michelle.
Next item is matters from mayor and council.
I guess I have no matters tonight, Mayor.
Mayor, I did issue a proclamation on behalf of you. Having not read the proclamation beforehand, I fumbled a little bit, but I got it done. For next meeting, I think I want to bring up something regarding, I know I talked about this a little bit, Chinese elms in town. There's some line of sight issues, especially by Hunts Pond, Marble Road, Cabrest Road. I want to just show pictures of what's going on with this overgrowth problem and show how it's affecting the community, especially bus drivers.
Are they in the right of way?
See that again?
Are they like on the?
Oh yeah, they're right on that, yeah. I mean, so that's coming from private property owners. How are we gonna deal with this? We're just gonna keep up the dialogue, I guess, and we'll figure something out. But it is a big issue right now. There's owners that are complaining about their neighbor's tree, which is a Chinese elm, and they can't see what they used to see 5 years ago. So, I don't know.
I think that sounds like a private property.
Yeah.
Ms. Shannon, will you, or Mr. Laforet, why don't you maybe reach out to Peter Villa at the Soil and Water Conservation? They have a program that they'll teach, and maybe we can bring the class here and they'll teach our staff members how to properly limit your trainings on, because it's not easy to get rid of.
No?
I know.
Or where's the fine line between the property owner responsibility and the Village of Questa responsibility? That's
Right.
the main thing we need to know.
We could theoretically pass an ordinance stating that we don't make them illegal in Questa, but I don't know how that would work with them being grandfathered in, people have to live grandfathered.
Alright.
It's gonna be I mean, the Sierra West School alone,
Oh my God.
we'd be in violation of our own ordinance right
Uh, There's some work being done at La Cienega.
That would probably be on the senior center right stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting. It's like all of a sudden we saw a building, it's like, wait a minute, something is going on there. But you can't see through the trees, so it's like, you don't know anything's going on.
Well, the other good news tell for La Cienega is that the auction is underway and it ends next Friday, but all three of the buildings.
It does end next Friday, I thought so. Somebody told me today the end of October, I'm like,
All three of the four buildings have bids on them right now, so.
really? Nice.
In fact, I think everything in the auction has bids on it, right?
Everything has a
Jake, thank you for that.
So,
Councilor Gonzalez, what was the proclamation for?
It was for the youth growing vegetables out at
Oh,
at the Settle Farms.
okay, good.
Yeah, Daniel Hutchison and his group, his locology, and probably other people have volunteered.
Right, okay.
Laura, I think we have been a little bit of funding in there, but
Right.
there was about 12 to 15 youths that showed up that day for the Kamagache, and they got recognized, and
Oh,
most seemed excited, some were very embarrassed, but it was nice.
that's you.
well, and the other thing is, I think we can, if you want to make a reprise for fumbling on Sunday, you could read it out loud right now.
Read it.
Oh, you have it?
I do have that.
Oh, you do have it. No, wait till too long.
We do appreciate that you did that and
Yes.
got out there and did that and represented the village. It was very important.
That's great, Jason. Along those lines, I do feel that it's so important to honor the people in our community who have been here so long. I'm telling you all this first. I think there may be the time in the near future that Dr. Jameson may be retiring. And I would like to see if we could do something for him for all of his years of service
Yes.
in our community. I believe it's been 40 years, maybe even a little bit more, give or take, but it's still up in the air. His mother passed away this last week at 96.
Wow.
Wow.
So right now, he's unsure, but it looks like it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. So I'd like for us to do something for him.
Okay.
And then I've also had some constituents concerned with the green hydrogen project. There's been conversation about wind turbines and how toxic they can be. So I just need a little bit more information before engaging in those conversations.
I think that's a good point, and I think this whole thing with Kit Carson came out so fast that I don't know how prepared all of us.
Yes.
I'm pretty prepared, but I don't know how prepared all of you are to handle those questions. That's why I was kind of sending out slide decks and stuff like that. But let's see how we do this. Maybe we can schedule a
Public hearing?
public hearing, but I think that's important. But I'd like to maybe before that get you all the information right, so you're confident speaking about it as well. Because you're going to have questions. You know that public hearing people aren't going to show up and they're. I'm
Right.
surprised that you all can say tonight that you've had a ton of questions about green hydrogen.
Well,
I
yeah,
was relieved we tabled it because
yeah, we've discussed it before, and we're a little familiar with some, but maybe not the full. And it has been over a year since it was first introduced to us, so you do forget things in that
So-
amount of time.
Real quick, if they do ask it, it is gonna go on Chevron property at the back of the tailings facility.
Okay,
We're gonna use the clean line from the Chevron wastewater treatment facility, so it's not coming out of the aquifer.
Oh, okay.
where would the wind turbines be?
There's no wind turbines.
Okay,
It would
I was
all be-
confused by that.
It would all be solar panels.
so it will be at the tailings property?
That's the plan.
Yeah, we knew that kind of was headed there, but, and they still have work to do at the tailings, Chevron does.
They have, so there's a section of the tailings facility that is not part of the circle. There was no contamination there.
Oh, okay, it's not part.
Yeah, there's part of it that's not there. EPA and NED actually told us that they could they wouldn't mind if we put solar on the part that hasn't been filled with cover. They actually said they'd improve it, but I don't think she's
Sorry, the green area.
Okay.
There's the solar panels, there's the tailings. Well, there's a green area up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the north end of the tailings facility. So it's away from any residences. It's not,
That's going to require a field trip, Mayor.
Yeah. Where is the tailings facility? I've actually never been there.
It's at the back of Avila Road.
it's very secure, that's why.
What road?
Abra.
It's kind of just on the west of us.
Opera Road?
It's very secure, that's why. And we can't just go around and filter, so I'll talk to Gabe tomorrow morning and see if he can arrange a tour for us,
Cool.
if that's all. And maybe we can have us like a tour and discussion on hydrogen.
Yeah.
Also, Oktoberfest is this weekend in Red River, and our Fiesta committee will be there selling food, trying to raise funds, so
Oh,
come on down and support.
What kind of food?
Frito pies.
Potato pies, green chili stew, pozole.
Awesome.
Keeping it simple, stuffing bowls. Yes.
Somebody was telling me that they're going so up there and what the committee told them was to kind of overprice their stuff because they're gonna run out of stuff so fast. Like, you want to kind of slow down while the pricing, you slow down how much business you get. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know, that's kind of business strategy.
So your Fiesta committee accepts donations throughout the year?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I will put you on my list. I never thought about it before.
Councilman Almir, do you have any?
I'm carrying and certainly have audit.
I don't really think I have anything. I will be attending the Route 20 Conference Summit next Wednesday to discuss green hydrogen on panel. I don't really think I have anything else. If you won't have anything, we'll adjourn at 7:10.
Remember, you want to like these?